Hi, Robert Espe here, second violinist with the Des Moines Symphony and with Quartet 515. I and the other members of Quartet 515, Hannah, Joyce, and Paul, are super excited to perform for you on August 9th at 7 p.m. via live stream as part of the Des Moines Symphony's at-home concert series. You may have seen my video earlier in the series offering a lighthearted glimpse into my life during quarantine, but this time my fellow quartet members and I are previewing our upcoming concert by sharing with you some cool information about the music we'll be performing. One of the things I love about playing with Quartet 515, other than the fact that Hannah, Joyce, and Paul are awesome musicians and just really good friends, is that while we're all classically trained musicians, we love playing other kinds of music as well, which makes us pretty versatile and popular for all kinds of events, not just the stage, but also weddings or house parties. So in that spirit, we'll be showcasing a variety of styles in our performance, and one of those styles I'm particularly excited to talk about, and that is the music of the Argentine tango composer Astor Piazzolla. Now, while Piazzolla's music is enjoyable purely for how it sounds, with its fiery counterpoint, sensual melodies, and exciting harmonies, it's important to note that tango is first and foremost a dance. Tango's origins in Argentina and Uruguay in the late 19th century aren't very well documented, but it's essentially a blend of African rhythms and European harmonies and instrumentation. It's very similar to other South American music that crept up around the time, like samba or choro, or even jazz in New Orleans, and it's nurtured by the cross-cultural immigrant population of the time. Of course, Argentine tango is famous for its passion and latent sexuality, and it would take many years for it to spread among the more conservative Western cultures, and even then really only as the sanitized ballroom tango. In Argentina, it was particularly popular among the immigrant and laborer class, and primarily among the men, actually. The hypersexualized, aggressive, heteronormative tango portrayed in modern cinema began as a hypersexualized, aggressive dance among male partners. That probably has more to do with the fact that women at the time really weren't allowed to do much of anything resembling fun. Tango music in Argentina was traditionally performed by traveling bands on instruments you could carry with you. Violin, guitar, flute, bandoneon, which is like an accordion. And it's in this tradition that Piazzolla began his journey as a musician. Born in Argentina in 1921, he learned to play the bandoneon as a child during his family's brief immigration to New York City. And back in Argentina, he would play with the traditional tango bands, but he quickly developed a personal style that was at odds with the old guard. So he transitioned his focus away from playing and performing and more towards orchestration and composition, even going so far as to study the scores of composers such as Bartók and Stravinsky and Ravel. In 1953, Piazzolla entered a composition contest in which he won a grant to study in France with the legendary Nadia Boulanger, who's famous, of course, for training composers such as Aaron Copland, and Philip Glass, even Quincy Jones. And this would prove to be an inflection point for Piazzolla in his career. At the time, he was considering abandoning his tanguero past altogether, fearing that it would prevent him from pursuing classical composition. But Boulanger encouraged him to pursue his tango music as his true voice. Piazzolla's new style, aptly named Nuevo Tango, would revolutionize tango music as we know it. It would incorporate complex counterpoint, long-form compositions, and greatly expanded the instrumentation, and incorporated elements such as improvisation from jazz music. And he would spend the rest of his life recording and performing across the world, collaborating with musicians such as Rostropovich, Jerry Mulligan, and the Kronos Quartet. Rugged, yet intricate, passionate, yet restrained, Piazzolla's music is an experience unlike any other, and yet it still manages to capture the essence of the heart of tango, and is just as much fun to play as it is to listen to. So I and the other members of Quartet 515 hope you'll join us on August 9th at 7 p.m. for our live stream. And we also want to thank you for your continued support of the Des Moines Symphony and other musicians and artists during this difficult time.